Welcome back, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, men and women. It is I, Dwayne Burns, again, and we appreciate you all tuning into the channel. And we're on to week 5. So far, we're off to a great start. For those of you who are new, please hit subscribe and like. And feel free to leave respectful comments. I'm confident that they'll be respectful anyway, but I'm just hoping to keep from getting kicked off of YouTube. But with that being said, we're going to talk more about my feelings on the Detroit Lions franchise and why I believe we don't have a Super Bowl yet. But before we get into that, we're going to set up our next game. So now we're going to play on medium level. And then we're going to check out the Carolina Panthers uniforms. So these uniforms I made up on my own. So we're gonna do for this game. We're gonna do the. Well, I'll say it for next game. But what I'll just do is I'll pick what the Panthers currently wear. So let's see, what do they currently wear? We'll go with the white jersey. And then we'll put them in black pants. And give them it's 1B8. 1B8 EDE. Okay, and then we'll give them black socks. I really don't like that, so we'll give them that instead. All right. All right, so now great. So now we're gonna have a office alignment added to the team. It will only leave us one draft pick left, but that's okay. This is a very good player. He's on the twilight of his career, but this will give us some great building blocks at this time, and hopefully it'll give us some potential. But remember, because I accidentally drafted a second kicker by mistake, I have two second round picks, so I'm good to go. So I'll go ahead and accept this trade. So now our offense is much better, and we have a 4-star offensive lineman. So I'll have more time to run and more time to pass block. Now the downside is I have 2 good players injured, so we just have to step our game up. So I like these uniforms. I'll stick with them again. 176. What was it? 176 2F0. All right. So here we go. We're going to start another game. Oh, we're at home, actually. Okay, so we're back at home. Now, we have a pretty decent defense on medium. So, with a lot of guys banged up, let's see how our offense does. So, we'll go ahead and get it started at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan, downtown Detroit. So, because I don't have a star running back this week, I'm just gonna go pass happy again. So we'll see what we can do. So nobody's really open, so we'll just scramble. While I'm scrambling, I'll continue with the story about the Lions. So on the last video, we talked about the fact of how the Lions were successful in the 30s, 40s, and the 50s. And they won their last NFL title in 1957. That was before the advent of the Super Bowl. So just because the Lions do not have a Super Bowl doesn't mean they don't have chips. But a lot of people try to discredit those previous championships because there was no Super Bowl. But a lot of people pay homage to that because they feel like the AFL was a fake league um, until the AFL beat the NFL in Super Bowl III um, with the I Guarantee It Joe Namath New York Jets. So this is going to be tough offensively because I'm out of stars. Now, the one thing about the non-star offensive players is that they juke really fast, left and right, but they're really slow moving going forward. That's something to take into consideration, especially considering the fact that we're short-handed. So let's go out of bounds. So in the 1960s, the Lions had more winning records than they did losing records. The only downside was that back in the day, for whatever reason, baseball and football said that only two teams should be in the playoffs. So it should just be the World Series and the NFL Championship. No wild card, no division, no conference championship games. Good luck. So the Tigers, for example, will win like 95, 97 games, and then that was it. Hey, A for effort. But like, damn, like, I can't go to the World Series, bro. So what teams reluctantly did was have the playoffs. I was a little distracted, but that's okay. I would have went for it. Good thing our defense got to stop. But the NFL for a while slowly but surely added an extra playoff game to each division so that you would have a conference, well, two conferences in the NFL, so that you would have a conference championship. So in the 60s, the Lions would go like, there was only 14 games at that time. So the Lions would go 9-3, 8-4, 7-5, which are very solid years, which would have been a one seed percentage wise in the current NFL. But because, again, there were only two teams, 2 to 3 teams, or 2 to 4 teams that make the playoffs in each division or conference, the Lions would get the short end of the stick. By the 1970s, they added a few more teams, but you had to be the second best team in your division, not instead of just the fourth best team in the whole conference. So still kind of difficult to get into the playoffs. The Lions did make it once in the 1970s, but they went against a very good Dallas Cowboys team. So while people, including myself, gripe about the fact that the Lions only won one playoff game since 1957, it has to be taken into consideration about how many teams made the playoffs. Now, some people say, well, I don't want to barely just make the playoffs if I'm going to get blown out in the first round anyway. I say, hey, get in. You never know. Play to win. So wild card teams have won a Super Bowl. When Pittsburgh won a Super Bowl in this very building, they were a wild card team. Now, in the early 1960s, William Clay Ford, God bless his soul, bought the team for $2 million, which is probably about $14 million in 2020 money. But considering that the Lions are worth over $500, $600 million, was a very good investment. But I think that, in my opinion, William Clay Ford followed in his grandfather's footsteps. It's okay to be wealthy, but it's also beneficial to be cost effective. I can spend $100,000 to build a car, but if it only costs me this much money to build a car and it's safe, be cost effective. So the reason why I'm going to ask you all a question: why does Jerry Jones want to win the Super Bowl so bad? Because he wants to make money. Making money in the NFL requires that you fill the seats, of course, sell merchandise, but the bulk of the NFL revenue is filling up a seats, attendance, TV ratings, TV contracts. That's done by what? Winning football games. If you lose a lot of football games, people are not going to go to the games, and you're going to not make a lot of money. A prime example is the Miami Dolphins. Now, if the Miami Dolphins don't win football games, guess what? I'm going to the club or I'm going to the beach. The beach is open in November, September, October. So they better play really good, or the market has alternatives. William Clay Ford, in my opinion, picked up on the fact that in Detroit, you have two options. Freeze your butt off at the Old Tiger Stadium and freeze your butt off at the Old Tiger Stadium and watch the Lions win or lose, or what else you're going to do. So William Clay Ford found out that while other franchises were losing money if their teams played poorly, win, lose, or draw, the Lions fans go to the games. When the Lions fans go to the games and sell out or have over 60, 70,000 people in attendance, that means the owner makes money still. So I believe the Ford family just believes that why spend all this extra money in free agency if I'm going to fill the seats anyway? People in most cities win Super Bowls or try to stay competitive to win to fill seats. People are going to go to Ford Field, win, lose, or draw. So you have to understand, like, if you're running a business, you want to minimize your costs, right? Now you can say, well, if I was the owner of the Lions, I'd do A, B, C, or D. Well, that may be, but if you're spending an extra $30, $40 million on a free agent per year and you're still losing, you're wasting money. So sometimes the Lions will hear ESPN gripe and complain about the team, and then they'll react to that. But they're not going to, in my opinion, go all out to get somebody. Prime example. Why didn't the Lions get Reggie White? Just missed it. But our defense is playing so good. Let me go ahead and get this knocked out. So now the NFL is very competitive. You have websites, you have social media, video games. So it's very competitive now. So I believe that in order for the Lions to succeed, football wise, is to have the fan base hold the team accountable. Don't go to the games. There's arcades, there's bowling alleys, skating rinks. Save your money and go out of town for the weekend. Do something. But don't go to these football games if the Lions aren't winning. Because as long as you do, they're not going to go out of their way to make the team better. And it shows. It shows. It shows in the management they've hired. It shows in the wins and losses. It shows in the coaches they've hired. It shows in the players that they have drafted. Now the Lions are New England Patriots Junior. So they're only going to sign people that play for the Patriots. Flowers can probably bench press Geeter-Burns. And I love him and I give him all the credit in the world. But did Trey Flowers really deserve a contract of that much money? Did he show that he earned that money last year? I'll let you decide. Would I have signed Trey Flowers for that much money? No, I would not have. So then you have the Matthew Stafford conundrum. Well, just cut him. Okay, then it's a salary cap hit and you can't sign anybody. Well, they should have drafted Tua. Well, now you got two quarterbacks on the payroll, and now you cannot attract any other free agents. So there's a lot of things to consider. Our defense played very well against a pretty decent offense, 3.5. We held our own on medium, and we're still undefeated. So we're going to have a lot of fun during this season, and even though I'm going to change the coach eventually, we'll still give him props. And another good game by Egbule. Very good game by the tight end. So we have our wide receiver coming back, and our running backs coming back soon. We definitely need him for the next game. So I want to get the kicking range increased, which was monumental. So now we have a very tough game. We're going to the Superdome against Drew Brees and company. It may not be Drew Brees in this game, actually, but we have our work cut out for us. And New Orleans, let's see how they look. New Orleans hasn't played that well this season, but they have a very good offense and a very good defense. So it's definitely one of the toughest offenses and defenses we played on the hard level so far this year. So let's take a look and see what we'll do next week. You guys have a great day. Hit the subscribe button. We're on a great journey. I hope you're learning great things. If you have some feedback for me to make my game better, please let me know. And you all have a great day.